and Looking Glass Salon with Alicia Watson, Candy Mink, and myself, Katie Carty. Now, Tiger Talk on KSMO Media.
On the Tiger Talk, Stan Stevens, Coach Jared Patterson, Coach Salem Tigers came out, got some scoring from an unexpected source in the game, a big senior leadership. But I tell you what, a good overall game by the Salem Tigers. I think St. Clair tried everything to try and change the pace of the game, slow it down, speed it up. Tried foul a lot in the fourth quarter, try and set up a free throw shooting contest. And, boy, whatever they tried, it just didn't work against the Tigers on Monday night.
Yes, St. Clair gives credit to that team. Those boys fought hard, and their coach had a good game plan. They had a few different things that they threw at us. They started in a triangle and two on Braden Gatch and Lincoln Thomas, and we had Cade Moody really step up and hit some big shots. And then Luke Pryor, Gavin St. Paul inside, made some buckets, and then even Gatch scored a little bit off of it. And then second half, they had to kind of get out of that. Like you said, then they started that foul game in the fourth quarter, and I wish we would have shot a little bit better from the free throw line, but that was really the only blemish we had. We took care of the ball, were patient, and then shot the ball well, had really good shot selection in this game, and then hit shots when we needed it.
And they were not hitting from the outside, and that really kind of hurt them. But I tell you, one of the things that, even though they were taking quite a few shots from beyond three, which we saw them do the previous Tuesday night in St. Clair, they did not get any rebounds, Coach, and the Salem Tigers dominated on the boards.
Yes, that was a big emphasis. You know, it's been a big emphasis for our team all year because we're a little bit undersized, but they didn't get a lot of second chance opportunities there, and that was a really good job by our boys being physical and blocking out and keeping those contested shots. They did shoot a lot of threes, but I felt like there really wasn't a whole lot of open threes in that game last night. So I was really proud of our boys in that, working hard to contest shots and finish the possession and rebound.
And did we change our defense on Nathan Short? He just seemed to be clogged up all night long, Coach. It looks like we really did a good job of just prohibiting him from ever feeling like he was comfortable.
Yes, I mean, he's an incredible athlete, and Luke Pryor did a really good job on him, sticking down, and we dropped a little bit more on him, made him shoot contested shots, and had better help side defense. So did a really good job on him in that game.
When you come out and get the contributions that you did from everybody, like Stevens got some points in there, of course, Lincoln, Luke, everybody that you normally expect to get some points from were able to capture some points. But Cade Moody might get 5 points from a game, maybe 6, maybe as many as 8. But to hit those first 3, Coach, and it really seemed to force St. Clair into making some deviations to their defense because they were not even challenging him.
Yeah, they were kind of playing dummy defense where they don't even guard him, and that was a mistake. Caden could knock down those shots, and he stepped up and hit those shots in rhythm and shot it with confidence, and so that was really good. Good senior leadership out of him, district winner-go-home game, and stepped up to the plate like he always does and answered.
I thought Gavin Sapo had another strong game for you, Coach. Good rebounding, very good job on that low post, really did a good job, and getting those 16 points, key points at the time, but then when Braden Gaps adds his 16, then you get the 13 from Cade, and all of a sudden you're looking at balanced scoring and up and down the lineup. Boy, that's what the Salem Tigers have been looking for all year long.
Yes, and Braden Gaps is going to get his points. He's just such a good player. But just to have our duo inside of Gavin Sapal, the strength, and just get so many offensive rebounds and just so strong under there. And then Luke Pryor, I thought, played a great game. He was very athletic and very good defender, contesting shots, and then going up and getting those rebounds. They both did an excellent job inside.
Let's talk a little bit about Luke. Early on in the season, he's a good defender, but he would get in foul trouble, and then he'd have to sit down a lot. He has really developed this year, hasn't he, on his defense?
Yes, and we've talked about that, being able to contest shots by going straight up. And he's had a few fouls here and there, but really he's been staying out of foul trouble the second part of the year. And it's just him working hard and listening and figuring things out and growing as a player. He's really matured a lot from the beginning of the year to the end of the year.
And how important is that for you as a coach to know that one of your better players, a good shot blocker, and a good player, you got Gavin Sapal out there, but if Gavin gets in foul trouble, you need to have a big guy out there. And isn't it a lot more comfortable to know that you've got a guy out there now that's not getting into foul trouble early?
Of course. It's a real luxury to have, especially with Sapal. He's an aggressive player. and we've had Dan and Barry hurt the last couple weeks with an ankle injury, so our depth hasn't been a lot in the post area. Roy's an undersized post guy, and then we have to go down to our bench. But Luke's given us really good minutes, been playing most of the games, and just been playing really good basketball.
One of the last, in the last few games, I should say, the Salem Tigers have reduced their turnovers in a great proportion. And Coach, I don't know if you're doing something different, but the Tigers really are taking care of the ball very well, aren't they?
Yes, and I think it's just maturity thing. You know, we've talked about this all year. Going into the season, we didn't have a lot of experience, and you know, we played a lot of really good teams this year, and a lot of teams that pressed us and challenged us, and we've done a lot better job the last few games taking care of it, and that just allows you so much more opportunity to score the basketball, just getting those extra opportunities. So it's been really good for our boys. They've been playing well.
And when you, as you mentioned as we came on, a little bit of a struggle from the free throw line in the fourth quarter, but up to that point you were 6 of 8 out of the stripe. Go 6 of 16 though in that fourth quarter. And I know that wasn't what you wanted to see, but the Tigers did have a fairly comfortable lead at that time.
Yeah, and we've been hitting it hard in practice. You know, postseason play, you got to be able to knock down free throws. In a tighter game, it would have hurt us a little bit more. But we just got to concentrate and knock those down. And, you know, we've been hitting it really hard and getting a lot of shots up in practice. So hopefully we'll shoot it a lot better versus Cuba.
All right, speaking of Cuba, we're taking on the Wildcats tonight. Tell us a little bit about that Cuba Wildcat team, Coach.
Cuba is a very, very talented team. They got 2 of the best players in South Central Missouri with Jesse Elrod and Preston Heads. Jesse Elrod averages about 18 a game, and Preston Heads right about 15. They're a really strong duo. Preston Heads is about 6'4", very athletic, can score from all 3 levels. Jesse Elrod's a big, stout, strong guard, probably 6'1", can score from all 3 levels as well. They're pretty tough duo there. They carry the team, both seniors, very heavy team, senior-heavy team. They start 5 seniors. Record-wise, they're really similar to us. The top 5 teams in district almost all have the same record. They played a lot of the same teams, and it's been about the same result. But a very talented Cuba team. They do a bunch of different things with different defenses. They zone, they press, they play man-to-man, just a lot of different things, switching it up. But we've pretty much seen everything all year, so I think we're ready for the challenge, ready for this test with Cuba.
Now, Cuba's going to be off here for I think they're over a week by the time we get this game underway Wednesday night. And, Coach, you know, some teams need that time off. Other teams get out of rhythm when they get time off like that. Do you see this as an issue going into the game tonight, especially to get started?
It's hard to tell. A senior-heavy team with Cuba, you know, they're going to be ready to go. I mean, they know, hey, 2 wins and we're district champs, so Cuba is going to be fired up for this game. They've been waiting for it. They lost to Blair Oaks in the championship game last year, and so those seniors will be ready to go. We're expecting them to go get hot early and just compete with them. We have a few different game plans we have ready to go for their switching defenses, and our kids are ready. All
right, Coach, well, the very best tonight against the Cuba Wildcats in the district semifinal. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Stay tuned. Tiger District Basketball, it is next.
Thank you, Stan. That has been Tiger Talk with Coach Jared Patterson, brought to you as a courtesy of Looking Glass Salon and Flying W Boutique. Stay tuned. Salem Tiger Basketball is next.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar! La, 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 la.
The Tigers.
Catch and shoot deep 3. Good. Splashed it home from deep.
Play.
Puts up a floater. Good. He got fouled. A career high 27.
Here.
Jammed down for his first Missouri field goal.
This is your radio home for Mizzou basketball.
I need all of you to join hands and help build something special.
Catch every game all season long right here.
Ball fake. Now deep 3. Left wing good.
The Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
It's time now for exclusive coverage of Salem Tiger sports on KSMO. Today's action is brought to you by K&H Auto Supply, Town and Country Bank, Farm Bureau Insurance, Country Mart, the Bank of Salem, Napa Mooney Auto Supply, Town Screen LLC, Tax Masters, Town and Country Insurance, City of Salem, Southwest Baptist University Salem Campus, Terrell Complete Auto Care, Edward Jones, Duncan Family Chiropractic, State Farm Insurance, Jadwin Smith Auto Body, Salem Trust Manufacturing, Progressive Ozark Bank, Stephen Patterson, Attorney at Law, Riverways Federal Credit Union, Salem License Bureau, Jet Tire and Auto, Legends Automotive LLC, Discount Bins of Salem, American Family Insurance, Looking Glass Salon, Candy Mink and Katie Carty, Flying W Boutique, New Life Auto, Mid-Ozark Animal Health Center Inc., United Country Salem Realty, Babette Wells Broker Owner, On the Spot Auto Glass, The Hot Spot Tanning and Tuxedos LLC, Your World Today, Hubs Tire Center, Technology Junkyard, Moe's Cleaning Services.
And welcome to Owensville. It's district basketball semifinal time. Salem Tigers taking the Cuba Wildcats here in this semifinal. These two teams have played many times in the past, but the last couple of years they have not faced each other in regular season. And this year will be no exception to that. They will face, though, in the playoffs, and they have done that in the last 2 years. Salem and Cuba. Wildcats come in a 13-11 record, but have lost 5 of their last 6. Salem Tigers come in now 13-14. They have won 4 of their last 6 games and also 7 of their last 10. So, who's on a roll? Well, Cuba hasn't played in 8 days. Salem Tigers come off a big win over St. Clair on Monday night, in which they played a very good game. So it'll be interesting to see which team has the momentum going into this one. First off, I want to thank our ladies at Flying W Boutique and Looking Glass Salon for sponsoring our Tiger Talk. Stop by and see Alicia, Candy, or Katie, 101 West 4th Street, downtown Salem. That's Tiger Talk, brought to you by Flying W Boutique and Looking Glass Salon. And thanks United Country Salem Realty for sponsoring our intro to Salem Tiger basketball. Babette Wells, the broker owner, at 605 South Main Street. Call them at 573-729-3148. Also want to say a special thanks to Ozark Overhead Door. They sponsor our Score Bug. It's at the very bottom of your video screen if you're watching that on Mission.tv. You see that, the garage door come up, and you'll see the time in there that's remaining in the quarters, which is a pretty good little thing to have handy when you need to know what's going on. Don't forget to contact Zane if you're looking for a garage door installation, if you need repairs made, or even preventive maintenance. 314-243-9341, Zane and Ozark Overhead Door. And our instant replay that we have is brought to you by Hubs Tire Center. They've been a 3-generation family doing work in the tire business for a long, long, long time, but they also do state inspections, auto repairs, and so much more. Stop by 801 South Main Street, Hubs Tire Center, bringing you our instant replay. Well, tonight they're going to try the national anthem again. Did not work last night. We'll see if they have a little bit better success with that tonight. Salem Tigers, Cuba Wildcats get ready to get things underway in the first of 2 semifinal games here tonight at Owensville. And we're going to take a 90-second break as they start the national anthem.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
Power Tour Tool Days is going on right now. K&H Auto Supply in Salem. We get a 2-pack go-through screwdriver set for $7.99, an 11-piece wrench set for $29.99, and a 3-in-1 ratchet for $28.99. Stop by K&H Auto Supply, your Parts City Auto Parts store during Power Tour Tool Days.
Parts City, yeah, Parts City, Parts City.
Reality check number 36. Shouldn't your personal banker know you, well, personally? At Town & Country Bank, we have a solution for that. The first thing we do is get to know you. Are you a planner or a last-second guy? Have a house full of crazy kids or an empty nest? We aren't just your banker. We're your neighbor who helps with money. We might even spring for a cup next time we see you in the coffee shop. Town & Country Bank. Smart, friendly solutions. Member FDIC.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for road trips. We're for covering as much ground as possible on 2, 4, or 18 wheels. We're for drop tops, T-tops, classics, cruisers, pickup trucks, and dump trucks. We're for displaying Missouri plates like Medals of Pride. Have you ever hit a deer? Yep, we're for you too. We're for getting stuck behind a tractor on a 2-lane highway. And if you're a Missouri driver, we have an auto policy for you.
I'm Willie Strader, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're in Dayton County, I've got you covered.
And we're getting ready for the starting lineups with Salem Tigers. Starting lineup brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, Willie Strader, your agent, and also your friends at Flying W Boutique and Looking Glass Salon. Here's your starters tonight for the Salem Tigers. Lincoln Thomas, Luke Fryer, Braden Gaps, Brody Ray, Gavin Sapaw, and I'm missing one. Brody Ray, really. Luke Pryor. I think I got them all. Lincoln Thomas, Luke Pryor, Brody Ray, Gavin Sapaw, Braden Gaps. I forgot Braden. How do I forget Braden? Anyway, nonetheless. Starting out for Cuba, Preston Heads, Cooper Mel, Jason Elrod, Holden Greenwald, and Braden Gibson. We're underway, and the tip comes back to Cuba. They're in the white uniforms with the black and gold trim. Salem Tigers in their navy blue uniforms with the Carolina blue trim, in case you're just watching on the Mission.TV website. Cuba very, very particular right now, just keeping the ball on the perimeter. Can get over to Elrod. They go down low to Heads. Preston Heads on the baseline, trying to go against Sapaw. Turns, spins, can't shoot. Kicks it back out on top to Elrod. They go back top of the key to Gibson. Now he has it again. Gibson over to Elrod. Very deliberate right now are the Cuba Wildcats. Elrod between the circles. Left side pass. Waiting for it there is Mel. Mel trying to back Thomas off. Can't. Goes back on top to Gibson. Almost knocked out of the hands of Elrod as he got the pass on the right wing. But he goes back between the circles to Mel, and they'll restart. We played a minute 5 seconds. Not much of anything has happened here yet at Owensville. They'll take the three from the corner, and it's good. Put up and in by Jesse Elrod. Tigers, Brody Ray fires it across, intended for Lincoln Thomas, but that ball was too long in the air, and it comes back to Cuba. In the corner they go. First turnover belongs to Salem Tigers. First steal belongs to the Wildcats. Heads giving it over to Elrod, who just hit that three-pointer. Elrod beyond three. Left side pass to Gibson. Back to Elrod. The Heads in the corner. He puts up a three, and that's short. Comes in the hands of Thomas. Thomas in the offensive zone. 3-0 Cuba. Over to Braden Gaps. Goes baseline. Inside it goes to Pryor. Pryor tied up. Puts it back to Thomas. Now to Gaps. Double team. Gaps fires it back to Thomas. Thomas back to Gaps. Going baseline. Running jumper up and good. 3-2 ball game. Looks like Cuba's trying to trap Salem against the sidelines when they get that ball over on the side. Heads goes to Gibson in the offensive zone. 3-2 our score. Back to Preston Heads. Heads on the right wing, guarded by Brody Ray. Goes between the circles to Elrod. Back to Heads. Goes down the corner to Gibson. Looking to get it back to Heads. Heads trying to get underneath on Pryor. Does, and scores. 5-2 our score as Pryor was right there, kept the hand straight in the air. Heads was able to get around him as Brody Ray brings it to Thomas on the right wing. Back to Brody Ray between the circles, guarded by Elrod. Left side pass to Gaps. He goes back to Lincoln Thomas. Salem also being very deliberate here with the offensive possession. Now Gaps has it, trying to drive his way in. Ball knocked away from him and stolen by Cuba all the way down to Elrod, and he lays it in. 2 turnovers for Salem have capitalized and become 5 points for Cuba. 4:42 to go first quarter. Gaps trying to get out of his own zone. Gives it over to Ray. Back to Gaps. In the corner, Thomas. Thomas back to Gaps. Takes the three. It's off the iron and brought down by Sapaw, who will bank it up and in. 7-4 our score. 4:23 to go. Timeout called on the floor. And with 4:23 left to go, that timeout brought to you by your friends at American Family Insurance. Your agent, Jonas Schaefer, 729-5165. Back at 30 seconds. Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
Life just got a whole lot easier with grocery delivery from your Country Mart here in Salem. Now available through Instacart. Skip the trip and shop from the comfort of your own home. Whether it's fresh produce, household essentials, or last-minute needs, Country Mart has you covered. Simply visit their Instacart page, select your items, and schedule a delivery time that works for you. It's just that easy. Support your local grocer, save time, and enjoy the convenience of shopping with Instacart today. Shop from home, shop with ease, shop Country Mart with Instacart.
7-4, Cuba on top. They'll inbound it from underneath the basket after the timeout. Cooper Mell gets it in the head. Salem with a little bit of pressure in the front court. Now off to Elrod. Getting it back to Mell. Cooper Mell to Elrod at that timeline. Steps back, steps over, almost lost the ball. Does lose the ball. Stolen away by Salem Tigers. They have it. Here's Gapsch trying to go back to Lincoln Thomas. He throws it out of bounds. Gapsch tried to keep that ball low, and Lincoln took one step in, and the ball went out. And that's all it takes. Here's Preston Heads trying to get away from Gapsch. Goes outside to Elrod for a three, and it's good. Salem cannot let him shoot like that, and nobody got out on Elrod at all as Gapsch got picked off. Here's Thomas. Ball knocked down by Preston Heads, and they'll say it's a kick ball. Ball stays with the Salem Tigers. 10-4 our score, 3:47 to go. We're in the first quarter. District semifinal from Owensville. Lincoln Thomas has it for Salem. Thomas hands it off to Brody Ray, guarded by Elrod. Man-to-man coverage right now for Cuba as Ray trying to get away. Turns, goes down inside the Sapah. Sapah short jumper, too hard. Brought down by Gibson on the backside. Quick pass up to Elrod, beyond three. Elrod backs up, takes another three-pointer, and this one's offline. No good. Brought down low by Lincoln Thomas. His second rebound. Off to Gapsch. 10-4 our score. Gapsch a long pass to Brody Ray. Baseline gets a shot up. Missed it. Brought down by Pryor. Kicks it out to Thomas. Thomas still hold on to it. Underneath the Pryor. Pryor shot. No good, but he is fouled, I believe, by Preston Heads. And it is going to be on Heads. First foul, and going to the line will be Luke Pryor. Salem shot under 40% from the free throw line the other night. They cannot afford to do that tonight, and the first shot is missed. Free throws will be critical in this one. I have a funny feeling. Caleb Hertruck's in. He comes in for Holden Greenwald. Pryor's next free throw is perfect. 10-5 score with 2:58 to go first quarter. It's Cuba with the lead. St. James and Owensville will match up right after this game. Coming down quickly, firing it to the corner. It's her over there, getting it on top to Mell. Firing inside the Heads to the paint. Partially blocked, gets it back, pops it up and in. Preston Heads has 4. It's a 7-point lead for Cuba. Here's Gapsch, top of the key, trying to get a pick, trying to drive in. Goes to Lincoln Thomas in the corner. Guarded there tightly by Mell. Out on top. Here's Pryor off to Cade Moody. Back to Gapsch. Gapsch to Pryor at that high post. Turns, spins, kicks it outside to Thomas. Thomas goes to Cade Moody out near the windmill at center court with 2 minutes, 5 seconds to go. 12-5. Cuba. Ball in the corner. Thomas trying to get inside. Can't. Goes to Pryor at that high post. Turns, spins. He's tied up. And a possession arrow will favor the Salem Tigers. Cuba trying to play at an up-paced scale. Forcing Salem into some turnovers there. That ball tied up. It stays with the Salem Tigers. Comes out to Pryor. Gets away from Elrod to the paint to the hole. Reverse layup. Missed it. Ball tipped. Comes down to Pryor. Kicks it out to Moody. Moody on top. Wants the three. Takes the three. It's off the rim. No good. Put down by Preston Heads. 1:40 to go. 12-5. Cuba on top. Elrod. Who's got 8? Getting it to Heads. Heads on the baseline from 12. That jumper's good. Salem just letting some Cuba shooters wide open and let them just shoot at will. That's going to have to change. Right now, the Wildcats with a 9-point lead. Sapah wanting to go back, gives it off to Thomas. Thomas to the corner, backs out beyond 3, inside to Gavin, off the glass. Count the basket, and he draws the foul. And he'll get an extra shot coming up. Foul called on Cuba. And it's going to be on Preston Heads, and my record has that as number 2. And it is. He's got 6 points, but 2 fouls now. He'll check out. Cameron Carnell comes in. Sapah's free throw, trying to bank it in. It does not go. Brought down by Mel. 1 minute, 5 seconds to go, first quarter, 14-7. Wildcats. Elrod has it. Elrod on top to Carnell. Carnell between the circles, trying to flip it inside. Goes there to her, now back on top. A 3 from the corner does not go. Shot there by Mel and brought down by Moody. Under a minute to go. Cade Moody at center court. Salem down by 7. Pass over to Thomas. Thomas on top, Luke Pryor. Guarded there by her. He gets it down to Moody. There's Sapah, baby hook shot blocked away. Sapah gets it again. Ball still loose on the floor and stolen away by Cuba. 4th turnover for Salem. Here comes Elrod down, and he'll be fouled by Moody. Cade gets his first. Body contact. Elrod went flying. 25 seconds to go. And a little bit of moisture on the floor. They got it cleaned up. As Jesse Elrod has it between the circles. Down to 18 seconds left. Elrod hanging on to it. Left side pass to Carnell. Back to Elrod. Elrod moves to his right, handing that ball off to Mel. Goes in the corner. Quick shot from there. Goes out of bounds. Belongs to Salem Tigers. That went out of bounds off of Holden Greenwald. Shot taken from the corner by Carnell. Here's Brad Gaps lets it go at the buzzer, and it just missed. Went just beyond the break. So we played 1 quarter of play. It's Cuba 14, the Salem Tigers 7. Back in 1 minute with the second quarter. It's Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
The Bank of Salem is part of the MoneyPass ATM network. MoneyPass has nearly 23,000 ATMs coast to coast, and the network continues to grow. MoneyPass ATM is surcharge-free, so you won't worry about paying a fee to access your money. Regardless of where you live, work, or travel, you're sure to find a MoneyPass ATM nearby. Just look for the MoneyPass logo and use your existing Bank of Salem ATM or debit card. It's that easy, and it's all part of our commitment to providing you with superb products and services. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a veterinarian. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a scientist. I want to be a superhero. I want to be a dancer. I want to be a drug addict.
Get to your kids before drugs do. Get the facts. For more information, call the Healthy Dane County Prevention Coalition at 573-729-8163 or visit their website, salemcommunitycenter.org.
And we want to thank our great sponsors to make it possible for us to bring you Salem Tiger Athletics, like Technology Junkyard, 37,228 Highway 72, open Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. For repair service for TVs, computers, electronics, call 573-453-0418. Technology Junkyard. With the ball to Cuba Wildcats, Gibson. And the ball knocked out of his hands, and that goes to Mel. Cooper Mel. Back over to Gibson. Out near center court. Goes back to Mel. Back in the corner, Gibson waiting for it. Guarded there. We have 2 guys. Back on top goes to Mel. Ball knocked out of his hands by Salem Tigers defense. Stays with the Wildcats. Just underway here, second quarter, 14-7. Cuba has the lead. Elrod standing at center. Going right side to Mel. Mel on top to Gibson, now to Elrod. Elrod trying to get a pick, drives in from that high post. His jumper will not go, and Sapah is able to bring down the rebound. Hand it off to Gaps. Gaps, who has a 2 in this game, trying to go between 2 different Wildcats. It goes over to Thomas. Thomas to Moody. Goes inside to Pryor. Pryor recovering outside to Thomas for the three-pointer. It's short. Comes down the hands of Pryor. Out to Moody for a three, and it's good. Pryor with a big rebound there, gets it back to Moody, and that's a 14-10 game. Salem with some pressure on the forecourt. Quickly down the other way. It is her getting down to Gibson. Gibson. Bounce pass on the baseline. Trying to go underneath. Ball stolen away by the Salem Tigers. Well, almost stolen away. It actually went off the foot of Lincoln Thomas and then out of bounds. It stays with Cuba under the basket. Inbounding that ball will be Cooper Mel. Mel looking inside. Does go, gets it back on a pass after going down low to Greenwald. Around the perimeter they go with it. Back on top to Elrod. Quickly getting inside. Trying to spin with that and go the other way. It was Brown quickly down, trying to put that shot up and missing. Was Gibson. Comes down the hands of Pryor, his fourth rebound. Here comes Gapsch. 14-10, Cuba on top. Getting it to Thomas, to Moody, back to Thomas, right wing. Goes on top to Pryor at top of the key, starts his drive in. Off the glass, count the basket, and he draws the foul. And Salem back to within two now after Pryor gets his first basket of the night. And Elrod will get the foul, his first. And Pryor will go to the line to shoot the free throw. He's 1 out of 2. His free throw is way too short, brought down by Sapah. Puts it back up, missed it, puts it up again, and he scores. And we're tied at 14. Pass to Gibson. Gibson goes back to Mel. Mel left side to Elrod. Elrod trying to dance from left to right, does. Kicks it down low to Gibson on the baseline. Can find it all the way around. Right now it's out to Mel. Back to Elrod out the top of the key. 5:35 to go. Inside pass. Brown jump shot up off the glass. No good. And Sapah has that. Sapah with his fifth rebound off to Gapsch. 5:25 to go in a half. Gapsch kicks it out to Lincoln Thomas. Inside Pryor. From 5, jumper's good. Salem Tigers has the lead. Timeout called by Owensville's coach, DJ Dace. 16-14. Salem on a 9-point run with 5:18 to go. We're going to take a 30-second break and come back. Timeout called is being brought to you by Jonah Schaefer, your local American Family Insurance agent, 729-5165. Back in 30 seconds. Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
This month's specials at Napa Auto Parts Store in Salem. You'll find Rain-X 2-in-1 glass cleaner with rain repellent for $6.49 for the 23-ounce size. Free-All deep penetrating oil for $9.99 for the 11-ounce size. And Turbo Towels heavy duty cleaning wipes, the 90 count, priced at $14.99. Stop by Napa Auto Parts Store at 604 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem.
And welcome back. 16-14, Salem with the lead. Cuba has the ball on the inbound. Go down the middle of the floor to Greenwald. Kicks it outside to Elrod. In the corner, Gibson. Back to Mel. Backs out near center court in the windmill here at Owensville. Heads is back in the ball game as they go back to Mel. Mel trying to get around. Stops at that three-point line. Not a heads for the three from the corner. It's not going to go, and brought down by Pryor. Pryor off to Lincoln Thomas. 16-14. Salem Tigers lead it. They were down 14-7. Now they have that 2-point lead. Here's Pryor from the high post. That jumper's too short. Brought down by Sapah. Sapah kicks it out to Gapsch. Gapsch trying to drive down to the paint off the glass. It's too short. And back comes Cuba. Here's Heads the other way. Heads driving to the baseline. Spins down. Kicks it to the outside. Waiting for it there is Mel. He goes back to center court and gives it off to Elrod. Down the right corner, Gibson. Gibson beyond the three-point arc. Back out on top to Mel. Mel over to Elrod. Down the Heads in the corner, taking it to the hole off the glass. It won't go. Tipped out of bounds, and they'll say it was off of Luke Pryor. It'll stay with Owensville. Pryor did not give Heads any room. Tried to use a bad angle. Inbound comes to Elrod from the corner for the three, and he hits. He's got 11 of the 17 Cuba points. They're back up by 1 point. Here's Thomas driving down. 3:43 to go in the half. 17-16 Wildcats. This one should be a good game. Here comes Moody. Pivoting it off to Pryor. Pryor trying to spin. Can't. Goes to Thomas. Thomas from the paint. Can't get it to fall. And Heads brings down that rebound. 3:25 to go in the half. Mel. Left side pass to Elrod. Elrod back to Mel. Wanted to take the three. Did not know to Greenwald. Greenwald trying to back up. To go down low to Gibson in the left corner. Back to Elrod. Getting it to Mel. Right there between the circles. Now moves in closer to that three-point arc. Back to Elrod. Back to Mel. He'll take the three-pointer. It's offline. And it's loose on the floor. Taken by Moody. 2:55 to go. 17-16. Wildcats with the lead. Here's Thomas. Lincoln flips it out to Gapsch. Cuba not quite as aggressive as they were early on. Here's Gapsch. Starting his drive. Stops. Tries to get a pick. Goes back to Moody for another three-pointer. It's good. Cade Moody has been an offensive threat here in this district play, and he's got two back-to-back threes. Now here's Elrod the other way to the paint, to the hole off the glass, and it rims in. Salem and Cuba now knotted 19-19. Gaps with 2:15 to go. Flips it off to Moody. Fake the three. As now Gibson's all over him. Now the Gaps for a three, and they're trying to bank that one in. No good. The rebound comes out to Moody. Back to Gaps. Gaps in the corner to Thomas for the three, and it's good. Lincoln Thomas hits the three, and Salem up by 3 points. 1:55 to go. Here's Elrod coming down, and he'll be fouled by Luke Pryor. First team foul for Salem in this second quarter. Kerr comes back in for Greenwald. 22-19. Here's Heads. Going back to Mel. Going out to Hurt. To Heads for the three. It rimmed out. No good. And it goes down off of Gibson. Nice deflection there by Sapaw to bank it off of Gibson. It belongs to Salem Tigers. And Sapaw's shoelace is untied. Actually, his ankle support has come loose. And now Salem will inbound it. Sapaw is good to go. 1:45 to go in this half. Up and down ball game. Cuba got the big lead first. Salem came back. Got up by as much as 3, and that's where they are right now. 22-19 the score. Here's Gaps with it. Holding on to it on the right wing. Double team. Elrod and Gibson. Goes to Stevens, who just checked in. To Moody for yet another 3, and that one goes in as well. (25-19). Heads the other way to the paint. Short jumper. Count the basket, and he draws the foul. Preston Heads taking it to the paint. And Gavin Sapaw is going to get zinged with that foul. Pretty tough one to call, but there was body contact in there. Official on the floor called it right away. This will be the first free throw for Cuba in the game, and they missed it. Sapaw giving it off to Gaps after he got the rebound. Now to Moody. All the way across the floor to Thomas on the right wing. Thomas moves back towards center with 58 seconds to go in the half. Giving it to Gaps. Elrod trying to steal it away from him, draws a foul. Trying to swipe that ball away. Jesse Elrod picks up foul number 2. He's got 2, as does Preston Heads, their 2 best players here in the first half. Sapaw will check out. Pryor comes back in the game. As Moody brings it up, 48 seconds to go. Moody drives to his right, stops. Trying to flip it out to Thomas, he does. Lincoln begging Hez to come after him. Lincoln goes in the corner to Moody. Another three-pointer. This one's a little too hard. Stevens brings down the rebound, puts it up in the end. Ball just trickled over the rim, and the Salem Tigers lead is 6. Ball in the corner, Heads trying to get away from Moody. Out on top, pass all the way across to Mel. Mel trying to get it back inside. They do it down low. Gibson bounce pass out to Elrod for the three-pointer, and that one does not go. And bringing it down his head, but he stepped out of bounds. Ed's got the rebound, but he stepped out of bounds and gives the ball back to Salem Tigers with 10.4 seconds to go. Here's Moody. Long pass up to Thomas. 7 seconds left. Thomas lays it up. It trickles in. 1.2 seconds left, and that'll do it. We played one quarter. Salem Tigers score 22 points in the second quarter, and they limit Cuba to just 7, and they lead it after one half by a score of 29-21. What an incredible second quarter for the Salem Tigers as they really played good basketball, but 3 threes by Cade Moody led the way, and the Tigers had that 8-point lead at halftime. What a final, semifinal, I should say, and we look forward to another full half of this kind of action the rest of the night. I'd like to say thank you to a number of our great sponsors that make it possible for us to be here to bring you Tiger basketball, like Mid-Ozark Animal Health Center, Dr. Ashley Cunningham, 573-729-4031, or drop by 900 West Santa Cruz Boulevard. She can take care of your livestock as well as pets. That's Dr. Ashley Cunningham at Mid-Ozark Animal Health Center. And also the Salem License Office, 1104 South Main Street in the Crossroads Shopping Center. You can stop by and check out what you need to get for your licenses, like including the Real ID, or you can give them a call, 573-729-8305, the Salem License Office. And the Hotspot Tanning and Tux is also in the Crossroads, a 24-hour tanning service available to you. Check them out. And they also have red light therapy, and for you guys, get that nice tux. You betcha. For that special occasion, 573-729-8699, Hotspot Tanning and Tux is in the Crossroads. We're going to take a 3-minute break and come back with stats from the first half. Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
What's the fastest way for you to get yourself up to date on the latest in news, sports, weather, and obituaries that costs you absolutely nothing? It's Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County now for over 20 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that will take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 30-plus locations in Salem and in Bunker. Your World Today. Pick one up every weekday. They're free. Have you seen Town Screen yet? It's one of the most affordable ways to get your message out in the community. With strategically placed vertical screens in numerous locations in Salem, check it out at the Salem License Office, Roberts Judson Lumber Company, and the Main Street Country Corner Cafe, just to name a few. Find out more about how you can use Town Screen for everything local. Stop by 800 South Main or call 636-338-1199. Hometown created and maintained, Town Screen in Salem.
This is Mike Elliott from Town & Country Insurance. As an independent agent, we shop many different companies, allowing us to find the best value for our clients. Town & Country Insurance has been serving South Central Missouri since 1963. We have offices in Salem, Rolla, Licking, and Mountain Grove, and would welcome an opportunity to show you what we can do for you. Stop by 400 West Scenic Rivers Boulevard, located inside the Town & Country Bank, or you can call our office at 729-6624.
Are you wanting to know what's going on in Salem? It's easy. All you need to do is subscribe to the City of Salem's Text Blast service. First, you need the text and number 855-435-4811. Then text the word CITY for all pertinent alerts and announcements for the city. For alerts concerning utilities, text the word utility. And if you're wanting to know about parks and recreation, just text the word parks. The City of Salem Text Blast service, 855-435-4811. Subscribe today.
With tax season fast approaching, you might have some questions that you need answered. If so, give the Tax Masters a call. They have over 40 years of experience and can handle all types of accounting services plus certified e-filing. Don't ever let yourself be a slave to the IRS. Come and see Jackie or Beth at Tax Masters, located at 107 West 4th Street here in Salem, or call 729-3001.
Southwest Baptist University campus in Salem provides quality higher education close to home for residents of Dent County and the surrounding areas. The classes at SBU Salem campus are taught in the afternoon and evenings, making a degree attainable for people who are in the workforce or can't afford to go off to get a degree. We offer degrees in nursing, which is an RN Bridge program, elementary education. For more information on the degrees and programs, please contact admissions counselor Chris Welch to schedule an appointment as a prospective or returning student.
And good sportsmanship is not something that just happens. It is taught. And as part of our high school activities program in Missouri, good sportsmanship has become a tradition with our high school coaches, athletes, and fans. Respect by everyone helps make that happen. We at KSMO Radio and KSMO Media encourage you to help us continue a great Missouri tradition that's practiced not only in the small towns but the big cities as well. Good sportsmanship. The preceding message brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and all of us at KSMO Media. Well, I'd like to thank our friends at New Life Auto for helping support our Salem Tigers at 583 Highway 68 North in Salem. They can put new life into your auto. Just give them a call to find out how. 573-453-2757. New Life Auto, a proud supporter of your Salem Tigers. And also On the Spot Auto Glass. What they do is in their name. They change out your auto glass on the spot. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call, 573-247-3608. On the Spot Auto Glass, also a proud supporter of your Salem Tigers. What a second quarter for the Salem Tigers, outscoring Cuba 22-7 and leading it at half 29-21. It's on the strength of the rebounds, guys. I want to tell you, Salem out-rebounded Cuba 11-2 in that second quarter, and they now have 17 on the game, and the Cuba Wildcats have 5. 5 rebounds, that's it. Salem's being led in scoring by Caden Moody. He has 9 points. He is being followed up by 6 points by Gavin Sapaw. And then 5 points for Lincoln Thomas, 5 points for Luke Pryor. Roy Stevens has a couple, and Braden Gaps has a couple. Sapaw leads everybody with 7 rebounds in the game. Pryor has 5 and 3 for Caden Moody, 2 for Lincoln Thomas. Salem 1 of 4 from the free throw line. But again, 17 rebounds in that first half. Salem had 5 turnovers, 2 steals in that first half. Those turnovers, by the way, came early on in that first quarter. For the Wildcats, they get out to a quick lead. Jesse Elrod leading them with 13 points, and Preston Heads has 8. Those are the only 2 scorers for Cuba in that first half. Heads has 3 rebounds. Cooper Mell has 1, and Braden Gibson has 1 as well. 1 free throw for Cuba. That was Heads. He missed it after scoring a basket. He missed the 3-point effort. They had 2 turnovers, 3 steals in that first half. So not a lot of turnovers, just a lot of missed shots by the Wildcats. So here at halftime, no real foul trouble on the Salem side at all. No more than 1 foul on any one player, but Preston Heads and Jesse Elrod each have 2 fouls for the Cuba Wildcats. 29-21 our score here at halftime. Last night, in case you missed it, the Salem Lady Tigers fell to Cuba. It was a very good game for the Lady Tigers. They played about as good a game as they have all year long, and they finally fell 55-41. But that was a single-digit game all the way until late in the fourth quarter when finally they had to take chances, and Cuba was able to pull away and get the win in that one by a score of 55-41. But a good job by Cody Woody and assistant coach Bella Jadwin, and I want to tip our cap Lady Tigers. They played an outstanding game last night at Cuba, but fell short to Cuba by a score of 55-41. Cuba will play St. Francis Borgia tomorrow night at Cuba. St. James will play Sullivan. After this game, Owensville and St. James will tangle to find out who they're going to play in the boys' championship matchup, which will be Friday night at 6 here at Owensville. Here at halftime, Salem leads at 29-21. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back with the start of the second half. It's Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
Terrell Complete Auto Care is a full-service auto repair center in Salem. They offer full-service oil changes as well as $2 discounts on Tuesdays for all ladies, and Wednesday is Senior Citizen Day. Plus, Terrell Complete Auto Care can take care of all your auto and diesel repair needs. They offer free pickup and delivery in town. Call 729-5761. James and Sheena and the staff of Terrell Complete Auto Care are proud to support the Salem Tigers.
Life is a series of moments. Big moments, small moments, moments you want to bottle up so they can last forever. At Edward Jones, we want to make the most of all of them. Whether you're planning for a trip of a lifetime, retirement, or just need some everyday advice along the way. That's why an Edward Jones financial advisor like me works with you to build strategies for today and tomorrow. Life is for living. Let's partner through all of it. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Leah Nash. Call me or Joe Brand at Edward Jones, 573-729-3831. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Is your back continually giving you pain? Do you constantly have headaches? Do you have numbness or tingling in your arms, hands, legs, or feet? These are symptoms, and they're a warning sign from your body. And if you'd like to know why they're occurring, Dr. Amber Duncan of Duncan Chiropractic can help. Her mission is to find the cause of the problem and correct it. Give Dr. Amber Duncan a call at 729-2321 or stop by 401 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Insurance with a local agent? It's called service. Call State Farm agent Cameron Irway in Salem today.
And welcome back. Start of the third quarter brought to you by your friends at Farm Bureau Insurance. Willie Strader, your agent, 729-4941. As we get started, Lincoln Thomas hits a three right off the bat. And Preston Heads now comes back. He puts up a two, 32-23. Salem Tigers with the lead. For that ball, Brody Ray on top of Sapal. Right side pass to gaps beyond three. On top, Thomas wants to take another one. Nope, he backs up. Slows it down, gets away from Heads, goes on top to Brody Ray. Guarded by Elrod. And Ray had that ball knocked out of his hands, and that ball's going to squirt out of bounds. Belongs to Salem Tigers. Elrod pushed it ahead, tried to beat it out of bounds, but could not. Salem gets it into Brody Ray. Ray driving down quickly. Stops, looks to go inside, turns, spins, goes back to Pryor, top of the key, left side pass. Beyond three, goes underneath the safe ball. He banks it in. He's got 8, and the Tiger lead is now 11. Working the other way, it's Mel. On top to Elrod, back to Mel. Inside it goes to Heads. This jumper no good. Tipped and brought down by Gibson. Back to Elrod for the three, and it's good. Elrod hits his 4th three of the game. And the Salem Tigers have a 34-26 lead. Here's Gaps to the paint. Short jumper. It's good. 10-point Salem Tiger lead. Just underway third quarter. Elrod trying to get away from Brody Ray. Circles back. Looks to go right. Now goes left instead. Now to Mel. Back to Elrod. Elrod trying to take it inside. From the high post. His jumper's too short. Heads. Brings it down, circles around, kicks it back outside, but throws it away. Heads tried to kick it out to Mel, but he threw it over his head out of bounds. First turnover of the second half belongs to Cuba. Inbound to Ray. Ray takes it up, one crossed over the timeline, almost went back court with it. Now here is Lincoln Thomas. Thomas beyond three with 5.5 to go. Trying to fire it inside the safe ball. Goes off the hands of Gibson. It stays with Salem. Cuba's in a white uniform with the black and gold trim. Salem Tigers navy blue with the Carolina blue numbers and also scratches on the back of on the bottom of the short, I should say. Pass to Thomas from Ray. Goes inside to Pryor. Pryor kicks it out to Brody Ray. Down low for Sapal. Sapal double team. Trying to get that ball tied up. Ball still loose on the floor. Comes back to Sapal. And a timeout called by Coach Patterson. 5:14 to go third quarter. Salem up by 10, 36-26. back in 30 seconds. Timeout called by Jonas Schaefer, your local American Family Insurance. It's Tiger Basketball on KSMO Media.
Every project is different, which is why Salem Truss uses modern engineering software to design, then construct quality trusses for your home, barn, or business. The size of the job doesn't matter, but the quality of the work does, which is why Salem Truss will deliver their trusses anywhere. Proud to support the Salem community, they're open Monday through Thursday from 7:30 to 4:30 and Friday from 7:30 until 11. For more information, call Salem Truss at 729-9276.
I want to thank Legends Auto for being a proud supporter of your Salem Tigers, 500 West Scenic Rose Boulevard. Give them a call, 573-729-2884. Get your vehicle ready for the Easter holiday. And spring right around the corner. Legends Auto at Highway 3272 and MacArthur. Here's Pryor on the inbound. Missed the shot. Brought down by Heads. Well set up. Just didn't fall. Ball in the corner. Here's Gibson for a three. It will not go. Ball tipped and brought down by Heads. Heads turns, spins. The shot blocked there by Pryor. Gets it back and puts it home. And he draws the foul. I believe the foul's going to be on Pryor for the Salem Tigers. That'll be his second foul. Good block by Luke right just prior to that foul. Caleb Herr back in the ball game. Comes in for Holden Greenwald. And the free throw is good. And that's a 36-29 game. Ray fires it to Thomas, going back to Gapsh. Gapsh still in a defensive zone, goes to Ray, down to Thomas. Thomas goes back to Brody Ray. 4:45 to go, third quarter. 36-29, Salem on top. Gapsh guarded by Elrod. Moves to the outside in the middle of the floor and then flips it off to Thomas. Thomas goes back to Brody Ray, left wing. Ray back on top. Gaps, right side pass. Thomas started there by Heads. Down low goes to Sapaw. Sapaw kicks it out to Gaps alone for the three-pointer. It's off the iron. Brought down underneath by Pryor. And Pryor lost control of it. First turnover by Salem. 36-29. Ray checks out. Moody back in. Came with 9 points in that first half. 4:10 left to go. Pass goes in the corner to her. Inside to go. Stolen away by the Salem Tigers. Their first steal of the second half as Lincoln Thomas got his hands out there. Here's Moody. Moody over to Gaps. Gaps inside to Pryor. Back to Thomas. Right side pass to Moody. Inside to Sapaw. Off the glass. Won't go. Fought for and brought down by her. Back the other way. Elrod to the baseline. Fadeaway jumper's good. 18 points for Elrod. It's back to a 5-point Salem lead. As Gaps will bring it down the middle of the floor. Triple team gets it off to Thomas. Thomas to the middle of the floor. Drives through. Stops, goes over to Moody. Moody inside for Pryor. Pryor back to Moody on top to Thomas. Between the circles, inside to Luke Pryor. Takes the jumper. It's good. 3:10 to go. 38-31. Salem. Elrod flips it inside to Heads. Heads in the paint. Kicks it outside. Goes into the corner to Gibson. Inside to Heads again. Trying to spin away from Pryor. Goes back in the corner to Gibson for a three. It's offline. No good. Tipped by Thomas and brought down by Gaps. Gaps with it. 2:45 to go. Gets away from Elrod. Gaps to the paint, to the hole, trying to get the shot off. That ball was blocked, and it belonged to Salem Tigers. Heads or her got a piece of it. I'm not sure which. But the ball went out of bounds. Gaps will tie his shoe with 2:43 to go in the third quarter. 38-31. Gaps to Thomas in the corner. Fakes the shot. Out to Moody. Back to Thomas. Takes a long three. It's not going to go. Tipped and brought down by Pryor. Back to Gaps for his three, and it's good. Big rebound and a follow-up by Braden Gaps, and a lead back to 10. Here's Elrod flipping it across to Mel. Back inside it goes to Heads. Out to Gibson in the corner. Back to Elrod. Elrod steps in, drives the paint, stops. Wants to get the shot off, does, but it's short, tipped up and in by Heads. Ball barely got off the rim, and Heads was able to get it over. With 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 41-33 Salem. Here's Gapsch up the middle of the floor, and a foul is going to be called on Elrod. That'll be his third. Cameron Carnell comes in, checks in for Gibson. Roy Stevens comes in for Salem. He'll take Luke Pryor's place. Moody, right wing, bounce pass out to Stevens. Goes back to Moody. Moody on the perimeter, giving it off to Gapsch. Gapsch guarded there by Heads. Gapsch goes right side. Back on top, Stevens. Stevens handing it off to Gapsch. Salem very, very methodical here. Slowing down the pace. Goes back to Cade Moody with 1:25 to go in the third quarter. Salem up by 8, 41-33. Here's Thomas. Right to the top of the key. Stops. Inside for Sapal, who lays it up and in. What a pass. He fired that one, and Gavin brought it in from his left side, turning left, banked it home. Elrod fires it across to Carnell. Carnell, top of the key, back to Elrod, down in the corner. 3 put up and rimmed out, no good. Tipped and brought down by Head. Heads his triple team, had that ball stolen right out of his hands by the Tiger players. Here comes Gapsch all the way down. His short jumper will not go. Sapal with a rebound, trying to put it up, and he is fouled. Well, you really can't put that ball back on the floor like Gavin did. That's just not going to usually work. Caleb Hurd gets the foul. Sapal on the line to shoot 2. First Tiger free throws in the second half. They're up by 10 with 48 seconds to go, and this free throw is no good. Greenwald will come back in for her. Next one is no good as well, and it goes off of, I believe, Elrod or Greenwald as Thomas came in. It'll belong to Salem Tigers. Gapsch flips it in to Thomas. Thomas drives out near center court. Salem may want to play for the last shot here in the third quarter. Off to Moody. Left side pass to Gapsch. Gapsch gets by Carnell. Gapsch trying to drive in. Had that ball knocked away. No call. Second Tiger turnover. First steal by Cuba. 28 seconds left. Here's Heads over to Elrod for a 3, and it's good. Tigers turnovers have resulted in Cuba points. That's 3 more. It has not been many turnovers tonight, but when they are, they have capitalized. Here's Gapsch to Sapal to the paint, off the glass. No good. 7 seconds left. Brought down, and Heads has it. As Carnell brings it down, Heads quickly down. 1 second left. Turns, spins, jump shot up, missed. And we played 3 quarters here in Owensville. The Salem Tigers 43 and the Cuba Wildcats 36. We'll come back in a minute with the fourth quarter. It's Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
Progressive Ozark Bank's debit card is now ready for your smartwatch or phone. It's compatible with Apple Pay, Google Pay, and Samsung Pay. Just upload it to your mobile wallet and go. No more fumbling to find your card when you're in a hurry. Just tap and pay. Simple, easy, and secure. That's the progress of local banking. Progressive Ozark Bank. FDIC insured. Where people matter.
Your legacy. Protect it, prosper, and pass it on. Stephen Patterson, attorney at law, specializes in real estate planning, probate, family law, and business law. A Salem native, Stephen Patterson provides comprehensive representation to clients throughout southern Missouri. If you need assistance, contact Stephen Patterson, attorney at law, at 573-453-2529.
And welcome back for the fourth quarter. Cuba comes in as the number 1 seed, and Salem comes in as the number 4. Right now, Salem with a 7-point lead. We're just starting the fourth quarter. A lot of time left to go. Greenwald outside to Mel. Ball goes inside the Heads. Heads double team back to Mel. Takes the three-pointer, and this one is good. First point scored by Cuba besides somebody named Elrod or Heads. Moody flips it down to Thomas. Thomas drives down. Salem with a 4-point lead. Moody goes right side over to Thomas. Inside it goes to Pryor. Pryor starts his drive. It goes out to Stevens. Back on top. The Tigers pass around to Gash. Goes back to Moody, top of the key. Right out near center court inside to Luke Pryor. His jumper's good. With 7 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the fourth quarter regulation. Here's Mel. Guarded there by Thomas. Back to Elrod. Inside Heads. Heads right at that free throw line. Kicks it outside to Mel. Back to Heads. Heads starts his drive in. Takes it to the paint. Doesn't go. Gets his own rebound. Tries to fire it out. Does. Short jumper good by Greenwald. 45-41. Moody off to Gash. Full court pressure by Cuba. Moody back to Gash. To Pryor. Pryor over the timeline. Pryor kicks it down to Stevens in the corner. Stevens to the hole. Short jumper. No good. Brought down and controlled there underneath by Greenwald. Roy overshot the basket with that one. 45-41 our score. Elrod with 6:15 out near center court. Pass over to Mel. Back to Elrod. Right side pass to Gibson. Goes back to Elrod, guarded by Moody. Inside the Heads. Ball tipped. Comes back to Mel. Mel looking to the left side to Greenwald. Gets it down that three-point arc. They keep the ball outside. Elrod back to Mel. His three-pointer's up and it's no good. Tipped and goes to Gash. Gash back to Stevens. Stevens tipped that ball over. 5:45 to go. Here's Thomas. Thomas trying to go back to Moody. That's stolen by Elrod, and Elrod takes it and lays it in. 2-point ball game, 45-43, and Coach Patterson calls timeout. Timeout brought to you as a courtesy of Jonah Schaefer, your local American Family Insurance agent. If you're buying a new vehicle, make sure you got the right coverage. Call Jonah, 729-5165. 2-point Salem lead. We'll come back in 30 seconds. Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
It's officially home buying season and the market is heating up. Buying a home is a huge decision and where to get your home loan is just as important. Don't buy your home without checking into Riverways Federal Credit Union's great rates and service. Riverways is not for profit and has more ways to say yes, and you can apply in less than 5 minutes. Need a pre-approval to help seal the deal? We've got you covered. Get started at Riverways FCU today. Riverways Federal Credit Union, located in Rolla, Salem, and Cuba.
Always like to thank our great sponsors like Moe's Cleaning Service, Melissa Callahan and her staff. They do an incredible job, residential or commercial. Let them clean up you. 573-201-0430. Get Moe for your money. Moe's Cleaning Service, a proud supporter of your Salem Tigers. And Discount Bins at 1201 Sneakers Boulevard East. Also a proud supporter of Salem Tigers. Get incredible values. And remember, they're closed Thursday to restock, but they've got fantastic values waiting for you 6 days a week. 573-543-2113. Proud to support your Salem Tigers Discount Bins. Here's Lincoln Thomas into the offensive zone. Bounce pass to Pryor. Pryor's short jumper is good. Ball kind of bounced around and came back out. Salem lead back to 4 with 5:15 to go. Elrod hanging on to it. Goes on top to Mel. Mel back to Elrod. Open for a three-pointer. It's short. Comes down in the hands of Pryor. Pryor kicks it back to Moody. Pryor with 8 rebounds in this game. Here's Gaps hanging on to it. Fires it all the way across to Thomas. Now back to Moody. Inside to Pryor. Goes back to Moody. Now back to Gash. Zone play right now for Cuba to get inside to Pryor from the free throw line. That jumper will not go, and Elrod has that rebound. Luke's been pretty automatic from that spot, but missed this time. Here's Mel outside to Gibson. Back to Elrod. 4:30 to go in regulation. Salem with a 4-point lead. Elrod hangs on to it. Cuba in the white uniforms with the black and gold trim. Salem in the navy blues with a Carolina blue trim. Gibson in the right corner. Goes outside to Elrod. Crossed away to Mel. Mel down low. Greenwald turns. Wanted to go underneath. Could not. Flips it back outside. Mel's there with 4 minutes to go. Mel lost the ball with a foul called on Thomas. Lincoln reached in. Looked like he got the ball, but the official said he got bodied. Greenwald checks out. Cardinal in. Cameron goes immediately to the left corner as Elrod has it. Goes from left to right. Trying to get it inside. Ball stolen away by Sapaw. Here's Moody in the offensive zone to Pryor. Kicks it outside to Thomas. Thomas comes down. Short jumper, too short. And Salem can't get to it. Now Pryor does capture it. Across the gap. 3:40 to go. Into Sapaw. Sapaw, that high post, just standing there. Goes back to Thomas. Thomas getting away from Cardinal. Gets it to Pryor. He's going to be fouled by Heads. Preston tried to jump the pass. Instead made body contact with Luke Pryor. 3:30 to go. Regulation 47-43 Salem in this semifinal game. It was billed as going to be a good one, and it is. Here's Moody. Fires it to Pryor. Outside to Thomas. Thomas bounce pass to Moody. Right side pass to Gaps. Now Cuba getting aggressive again. He starts to flood the player with the ball as Gaps has it. Gaps trying to dance in, goes to Sapaw. Sapaw knocked down, has that ball stolen away. No call. And back comes Cuba after the steal. They've been very good scoring after steals tonight with 2:55 to go. Elrod has it. Elrod handing that ball off to Cardinal. Cardinal to Heads, back to Elrod. All out near center court. Elrod goes to Heads, right side, goes down the corner to Mel. Mel back to Elrod, beyond three. Backdoor pass goes right through the hands of Gibson and out of bounds. Braden Gibson could hang on to that fastball. Here's Moody getting across to Thomas. Down to Pryor. Pryor underneath, intended for Sapaw, and it goes off Gibson out of bounds. Sapaw is going to have to field that hot grounder. And Gibson had his body there, knocked it out. And Salem has the inbound with 2:31 to go. Gaps to Pryor in the corner. He takes a three, and he splashes it home. I don't think they expected that. Pryor with 14 and the lead now to 7. Here's Heads. Trying to get away from Moody. Ball tipped out of bounds, stolen by Moody, and Gaps has it. A nice steal by Caden Moody. And now steal right back by Heads on the pass by Thomas. Underneath the basket, the flip up by Gibson, but he is fouled. So Thomas turns the ball over after Moody steals one. Moody gets the foul, his second. Gibson goes to the line to shoot two. Neither team near bonus. And the free throw is good. Greenwald back in the game for Cardinal. It's a 6-point Salem lead with 2:05 on the clock. Gibson's next free throw is also good. He hit them both. And a timeout called by Coach Dace with 2:05 remaining. 50 for Salem, 45 for Cuba. The timeout brought to you by American Family Insurance Agent Jonah Schaefer. Take time out to review the assets of your home to make sure you got the right coverage. See Jonah, 1104 South Main Street. We'll come back in 30 seconds. It's Tiger Basketball on KSMO Media.
Do you want to protect your family and help with the opioid drug crisis? Use the box. Safely dispose of unneeded medications in a local permanent drop box. The drop boxes are easy to access at several area law enforcement and pharmacy locations, including Rolla, Salem, Vienna, Bell, Cuba, Steelville, Edgar Springs, Owensville, Herman, and St. James. It's a free community service. Use the box and be part of the solution to prevent addiction and overdose from prescription drugs and heroin. A message from Prevention Consultants of Missouri.
Welcome back. It'll be Gaps trying to get it in after the two free throws by Gibson made a 5-point ball game. Full court pressure by Cuba. Here's Moody in the corner. Moody gets it up to Gaps into the offensive zone. Gaps double teamed, and he is timeout going to be called by Coach Patterson as Moody got trapped, or Gaps got trapped with 1:54 to go. That timeout brought to you as a courtesy of American Family Insurance agent Jonah Schaefer. And, of course, Jonah always reminds you to make sure you got the right coverage, be it car coverage, could be life coverage, or might be your home, or needing an umbrella coverage. He can help out. 1104 South Main. Jonah Schaefer, your local American Family Insurance agent. Back in 30 seconds, 50 for Salem, 45 for Cuba. It's Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
Today at K&H Auto Supply in Salem, you'll find KCO coolant leak repair for $15.49. Hot Shot Secret Stiction Eliminator Diesel Oil Additive only $49.99. And Park City Conventional Motor Oil, 5 quarts and a microguard filter for $25.99. Stop by today and save at K&H Auto Supply in Salem.
Park City. Yeah, Park City. Park City.
One thing, Jet Tire and Auto for being a proud supporter of your Salem Tigers, 800 South Park Street for all your tire needs, off-road accessories, and more. It is your friends over at Jet Tire and Auto. Sapah misses the shot, brought down underneath by Mel. That was a big miss right there as Elrod comes down and banks it off his foot out of bounds. That turnover gives the ball right back to Salem. Sapah had it in a lot of room, and then he hesitated and then tried to take it to the hole, and then Cuba was able to respond. 1:39 to go. Here comes Thomas. Thomas comes down, gets tied up, gives it off to Gaps. Gaps gets tied up, and a foul is going to be called. Only a second team foul on Cuba. This is on Holden Greenwald. Now, for those who follow Salem Tiger basketball, they don't shoot good free throws. They're only 1 for 6 tonight. Meanwhile, Cuba is 3 for 4. And here comes Thomas. Thomas is going to be fouled there by Heads, and that'll be his 4th. Almost got it stolen away. But now Heads has 4. Elrod still has 3. 1:27 to go. Fourth quarter. Gaps fires it in. That Moody wasn't ready for it, and Moody had the foul. I don't know what Caden was doing. Caden came right in front of him and then turned his back. And so the Tigers turned the ball over. That was a real weird kind of inbound. First, I thought he might just be getting it back off Moody to himself, but now Cuba has the ball down by 5. They get it inside, going outside to Gibson for the three-pointer, and it rimmed out. No good. Tip and brought down by the Salem Tigers. Gaps getting it to Fryer. Fryer back to Gaps. And that's stolen away by Heads. Heads all the way down to the hole, lays it in. And a timeout called by Coach Dace. Tigers careless, give that ball away in their own zone, and we have a one-possession, 3-point Salem Tiger lead with 1:05 to go, 50-47. Timeout called by DJ Dace. And, of course, right here at KSMO, we want to thank all our great sponsors for bringing you Tiger basketball right here on KSMO all season long. And I hope you stick around for that. Do want to tell you that Show Me Showdown 2025 is coming up real soon. Show Me State's in the grips of basketball fever right now. And the Misha Basketball Championships will be coming up for Class 4, 5, and 6, March 19th through 22nd at Mizzou Arena on the University of Missouri campus in Columbia. You want to find out game information, log on to misha.org. Show Me Showdown 2025. Wildcats making a charge, trying to get back. Two costly turnovers by Salem, one on an inbound. And then another one, a steal ends up as 2 points. 7 turnovers for both teams in the second half. Gaps will get it in. Full court pressure by Cuba. Can neither team in the bonus. Inbound comes to Thomas. Thomas gets in the offensive zone, pulls up, gives it to Gaps. Gaps goes back to Moody, hanging on to it, back to Gaps. Elrod all over him, back to Moody. Back to Gaps with under a minute to go. Goes down the corner to Thomas. Thomas drives in. 7-footer, it's good. 52-47, 40 seconds to go. Bell brings it down. Out on top, Heads for a three-pointer. Off the front of the rim, no good. It's kicked out, goes back, and it goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Salem Tigers. That ball took a strong rebound and was pushed back by Cuba, but it went over the timeline. The Gaps will get into Thomas. 32 seconds left, and Elrod will foul him, and that'll be his fourth. Elrod has got 23 points in this game. Salem will be in the bonus now. The inbound comes to Gaps, and he's fouled immediately by Gibson. Well, the Tigers send one of their better free throw shooters to the line. They have a 5-point lead. That's a 2-possession game. 30.6 seconds left is plenty of time for 2 possessions. 2 free throws, though, could make it a 3-possession game. And the first free throw is good. That would make it much more difficult. 6-point Salem Tiger lead. Next one by Gaps is no good. Brought down by Pryor. He scores. Pryor got the rebound, banks it home. It's an 8-point Salem lead. Here's Elrod all the way down here at the bottom of the basket. And Gaps brings down the rebound. And the Salem Tigers are going to go to the district final here against either Owensville or St. James. What a rebound by Luke Pryor. That ball just would not fall through the basket as that free throw sat there, and then it got pushed out by Cuba. Pryor was right there to get the ball down, put it back up. He's had a heck of a game, and the Tigers will go to the championship. Gaps misses that free throw. Got another one coming. Still an 8-point lead, 16 seconds left. Nothing's over till it's over. That one is good. 9-point lead, 15 seconds. Here's Heads for the three-pointer. It's short, comes down, put back up and in by Bell. And a timeout called by Coach Dace with 9.5 seconds left. 7-point Salem Tiger lead. It is still a 3-possession game with 9.5 seconds left. Don't mean to prematurely call it, but yeah, I've seen Salem give up 7 points in 11 seconds. I've not seen it done in 9.5, and I don't want to even think about it. It was at Mountain View, and it still brings back incredible horror stories in my head. But this is different. Different team, different era, different basketball. 56-49. Salem with the lead. 9.5 seconds to go. United Country Salem Realty postgame show come up right at the conclusion of this one. We'll go over stats in this one. Tigers really did a great job out rebounding Cuba in this game, and I think that's really one of the biggest differences in this contest. Pryor with 16 points, got Gaps with 9, Moody with 9, and 10 for St. Paul. So got a lot of key scoring that came in this game for the Salem Tigers. It'll be Moody trying to inbound it. Full court press by Cuba. The inbound will come to Gaps. Gaps will get fouled there by Gibson with 7.7 seconds left. So Gaps will shoot 2 more. Braden to the line. Free throw is good. Salem will go to 14-14 on the year with a win here. And try for that district championship on Friday against Owensville or St. James. 58-49. Elrod with a long 3. It's nowhere near. Goes out of bounds with 1.6 seconds left. And the Salem Tigers come to Owensville and take home a trip to the finals here in district play. 58-49, the Salem Tigers beat the number 1 seed Cuba Wildcats. Go to 14-14 on the season, and they will play Owensville or St. James at 6 Friday night right here at Owensville. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with stats from this one. It's Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
Reality check number 44. You can spend money everywhere. Why can't you bank everywhere? At Town & Country Bank, we have a solution for that. Town & Country may be a hometown bank, but our banking is state-of-the-art. We have dozens of ATMs across the area. Plus, you can bank anytime, anywhere, online or on your phone. You can even deposit checks from your phone. Pretty cool, huh? Town & Country Bank. Smart, friendly solutions. Member FDIC.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events. Make sure you have the right policy for each of life's wins.
A life event could qualify you for a discount. Call me, Willie Strader, your Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance agent, and we will make sure you have the coverage you need.
At Country Mart in Salem, you'll find gluten-free, organic, and diabetic products. They also have fresh produce, quality meats, a bakery, and a full-service deli that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Have you joined the Country Mart e-Club yet? You'll receive exclusive offers, weekly specials, and special sale items through your email. It's free to join, and for more information about the e-Club, go to www.tcmarkets.com. It's just another service from Country Mart in Salem.
Every day we share personal information, like when you write a check, apply for a credit card, or even make a call on a cell phone. And the Bank of Salem wants to pass on some tips on how to protect yourself from identity theft. Don't carry around more checks, credit cards, or identification information than you really need in your wallet. Make sure you always safely store those items and other important documents. Plus, you should always choose passwords and PIN numbers that will be tough for someone to figure out. These tips are brought to you by the Bank of Salem, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
Power Tour Tool Days is going on right now. K&H Auto Supply in Salem. We get a 2-pack go-through screwdriver set for $7.99, an 11-piece wrench set for $29.99, and a 3-in-1 ratchet for $28.99. Stop by K&H Auto Supply, your Parts City Auto Parts store during Power Tour Tool Days.
Parts City. Yeah, Parts City. Parts City.
Right now at Napa Auto Parts Store in Salem, you can get Seafoam High Mileage Motor Oil Treatment for $10.59. That's for the 16-ounce size. Seafoam Concentrated Fuel Injector Cleaner for $4.49 for the 5.25-ounce size. And Mac products starting at $2.59 each. Stop by Napa Auto Parts Store today at 604 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard, right here in Salem.
16 and 10. 16. And welcome back to Owensville as St. James Tigers, Owensville Dutchmen are getting ready for their semifinal action here. Well, if it's anything like the one prior to that, they're going to have a lot to live up to. Oh, that was one heck of a ball game. This post-game show brought to you by United Country Salem Realty. And they want you to know to save some time and money in finding the right real estate for you, whether it be Dent County or other areas in southern Missouri or the Ozarks. Give them a call, 573-729-3148, or stop by 605 South Main Street. Babette Wells, your broker owner, United Country Salem Realty. What an effort by the Salem Tigers tonight. 4 guys with double figures for the Tigers tonight. Cade Moody, 1 point underneath that. So what balanced scoring for the Salem Tigers cannot be said the same for Cuba. They had 2 guys with double figures who accounted for 40 of their 49 points. And that's pretty tough. If they're off a little bit or they get in foul trouble or whatever they got to do, that really takes away from their game. Plus, those are their better guys. And with them on the bench, especially Preston Heads with a couple of fouls early, their rebounding just wasn't the same. So the Tigers dominated the rebounds, and they also won this game pretty handily, actually, with getting a big lead in the third quarter. Got as high as 11 points at one time, but they held on and won it by a final score of 58-49 over the Cuba Wildcats. Leading scorer in this game for Salem was Luke Pryor. He finished with 16 points. He had 10 rebounds. Following him was Braden Gaps with 11 points. He had a rebound. Lincoln Thomas had 10 points, 3 rebounds, and Gavin Sapal finished with 10 points and 9 rebounds in the game. Cade Moody had 9 points, 3 rebounds. Roy Stevens contributed a couple of points for the Salem Tigers. Salem was 5 of 12 at the free throw line. They had 12 turnovers, 7 steals, and finished the night with 28 rebounds. For the Cuba Wildcats, Jesse Elrod led the way with 23 points. Preston Heads had 17 and 8 rebounds. Elrod only had 1 rebound. He doesn't get under the basket much. 5 points for Cooper Mel and 2 rebounds for him. And then 2 points for Holden Greenwald. He had a rebound. and 2 points for Braden Gibson. He had 2 rebounds in the game. And also Cameron Carnell and Caleb Hurd had rebounds for Cuba as well. They finished with 16 rebounds. So Salem out-rebounded Cuba 28-16. Cuba was 3 of 4 from the free throw line, so Tigers didn't foul much. And they had 9 turnovers, 8 steals in the contest. Cuba finishes their season with a 13-12 record. The Salem Tigers are now continuing on their season, but they're back at 500 overall at 14-14. And they'll take on the winner of either St. James or Owensville here tonight. What an incredible game. Some big, big plays. Luke Pryor with a big rebound late in the game. Put back for a key 2 points. Also, Braden Gaps coming through with 4 of 6 free throws late in the game. And the Tigers really played good defense tonight against a very good shooting Cuba team. And when we do Tiger Talk with Coach Patterson, it'll be interesting to see that after Elrod hit those first couple of threes early on, he ended up with 23 points, and he found himself open a few times. The Tigers looked like they made a little change in defense and really did not give him free looks. Every now and then he'll get open, but I'll tell you what, it's a very good defensive effort by the Salem Tigers, and they take the game tonight against Cuba by a score of 58-49, and Salem will play for that district championship Friday at 6 here at Owensville. Well, you never know what you're going to have. You show you play the game, and Cuba had those 8 days off, and it looked like it might have affected their play a little bit, but I'm not going to make that as an excuse, as they had their opportunities just like Salem had other additional opportunities, and Salem just outlasted them. It was a good, fun game to watch for high school as Salem wins it. Last score 58-49. Let's take a 1-minute break, wrap it up, and get ready for Friday night. And 1-minute break coming up, brought to you as a courtesy of all of us at KSMO. Back with the wrap-up show when we return. It's Tiger Basketball on KSMO Media.
What's the fastest way for you to get yourself up to date on the latest in news, sports, weather, and obituaries that costs you absolutely nothing? It's Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County now for over 20 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that will take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 30-plus locations in Salem and in Bunker. Your World Today. Pick one up every weekday. They're free. Have you seen Town Screen yet? It's one of the most affordable ways to get your message out in the community. With strategically placed vertical screens in numerous locations in Salem, check it out: the Salem United Methodist Church, Dent County Health Center, and the local on 4th Street, just to name a few. Find out more about how you can use Town Screen for everything local. Stop by 800 South Main or call 636-338-1199. Hometown created and maintained, Town Screen in Salem.
Well, a 22-point second quarter by the Salem Tigers. They were down 14-7, and they went on a 9-point run to take a 16-14 lead. And then it was a little seesaw battle back and forth for about 2 minutes, and then the Tigers started pulling away as Cuba missed some shots. The Tigers brought down the rebounds, especially Gavin Sapal. He finished with 6 rebounds in that second quarter. Pryor had 3 more, and Caden Moody hit 3 threes in that second quarter, and that really was the difference in the game. Because once those threes went down, when Salem started hitting their threes, they had 4 threes in that second quarter, and all that the Cuba Wildcats could do was have 7 total points in that second quarter. That changed the total complex of this game. Salem got outscored 15-14 in the third quarter, but overall it was a very, very good game, very consistent game with the Salem Tigers after that first quarter, as they outscored Cuba the rest of the way by a total of 50-35. So a big difference in those last 3 quarters than the first one, where Cuba actually dominated play and took advantage of a lot of Tiger turnovers. So who will it be, St. James or Owensville? Well, we won't know until this game is completed, but we will tell you this: Salem will play one of those teams at 6 o'clock Friday night. It's $6 per person to come on in if you're 6 years of age and above. If you can't make it Friday night and you want to see that contest, you can stream it on Mission.tv. There's a $10 fee plus some additional fees, makes it about $12. And you're more than welcome to check it out on that. Or do it the freeway. Listen on KSMO Media, AM 1340, FM 95.7. Streaming it online, KSMORadio.com, KSMO Stream Facebook, and KSMO YouTube. For Ben operating the video side, Marsali swapping those dials back at the station. Yours truly, Stan Stevens, thanking you for joining us for Tiger basketball on KSMO. Tigers win it. They go to the final as they beat Cuba 58-49. Have a great rest of the evening. We got more sports coming up. Missouri Tiger basketball on the radio side coming up next. And they're about ready to get that one underway. We'll join that pregame show in progress on KSMO. And then Blues Hockey Night from L.A. They take on the Kings at 9:30. Have a great evening. And don't forget our FFA Day tomorrow starting about 8:15 right here on KSMO. Thanks for joining us, and good night from Owensville.
You have been listening to exclusive coverage of Salem Tiger sports on KSMO. Today's action was brought to you by K&H Auto Supply, Town and Country Bank, Farm Bureau Insurance, Country Mart, the Bank of Salem, Napa Mooney Auto Supply, Town Screen LLC, Taxmasters, Town and Country Insurance, City of Salem, Southwest Baptist University Salem Campus, Terrell Complete Auto Care, Edward Jones, Duncan Family Chiropractic, State Farm Insurance, Jadwin Smith Auto Body, Salem Trust Manufacturing, Progressive Ozark Bank, Stephen Patterson, Attorney at Law, Riverways Federal Credit Union, Salem License Bureau, Jet Tire and Auto, Legends Automotive LLC, Discount Bins of Salem, American Family Insurance, Looking Glass Salon, Candy Mink and Katie Carty, Flying W Boutique, New Life Auto, Mid-Ozark Animal Health Center Inc., United Country Salem Realty, Babette Wells Broker Owner, On the Spot Auto Glass, The Hot Spot Tanning and Tuxedos LLC, Your World Today, Hubs Tire Center, Technology Junkyard, Moe's Cleaning Services. Be sure to join us again next time for Salem Tiger Sports, exclusively on KSMO.